was to go out for a third party to provide ambulance services. Chief Joyce had already done a fair amount of legwork, had already spoken to some EMS directors at a couple of local hospitals. They all gave him feedback that without formal RFP, they were unable to provide a cost. There was no dollar figure as to how that was going to work. So we decided to go out for RFP because there was no way to evaluate all the options without knowing what they cost. We did so. We went out for RFP. We had 2 submissions come back. One of them was from Virtua for $0. The other was from Event Medical Staffing Solutions that was going to charge the borough $454,577 to provide EMS services. That's what we were presented with. To be able to provide the highest standard of care, to be able to address the well-being mentally and emotionally of our first responders. This was a decision we went forward with. And I say we, I say I. Looking at all the different proposals and different ways that we could address our fire chief's concerns. I'll leave you with one last thing he said, that a proactive step would prevent future staffing crises, safeguard the well-being of our residents, and maintain the high level of service our community expects. So I just want to let that out. If anybody has any questions about that, I'm more than happy to talk to you further. Now,
well, I'd like to respond. If we're getting this out in the open, which there's a few facts that you've left out of that, which is first off, Daniela's announcing this and letting everyone know about this, but this happened back in August. I didn't find out about it until I heard second, third hand from somebody about 10 days ago. It's not that just that her husband is a doctor employed by Virtua, but that she brought her husband to the fire department. He met with the fire chief and others at the department prior to them putting together an RFP to go out for ambulance services, something which I'll address separately, substantively, why I'm against it, why I think it's a bad idea to privatize our EMS. But her husband participated in meetings and discussions with our fire department, and now she is telling us now that she's going to vote to give her husband's company a $400,000 contract, even after, when I found out about this, I first talked with Daniela, let her know that I was aware of this. This was not good for her to be involved in it. I think it's fair to say that this is not her department, but she's been running this show. She's had her husband involved in it. She didn't disclose it to everyone throughout this entire process. Learned about it by accident when I found out, and she asked last week to make sure that the EMS resolution was on the agenda, and to which I just sent an email and said some really nice things about me in it, but I just sent it to Joe Nardi, asked him for an opinion. Could she vote on this? He issued an opinion to us all today. His conclusion, it's not a maybe in it. His conclusion is that you should recuse yourself. You should have recused yourself back in August. The way this works is if my wife has a company and I think there's some borough work she might be able to do, not only does she not get involved in helping the borough make that decision, but I step away because I can't be involved because it gives the public the appearance that something is not proper. To have this come up last minute and now announce you're going to vote on it anyway, and you're going to be the deciding vote to privatize our EMS. I've been practicing law for over 40 years, most all of it local government. I have never, ever seen a zoning board member, a planning board member, an elected official turn to their attorney and say, no, you're wrong. I don't have a conflict. I'm okay because I'm doing it all for the right reason. So I'm going to vote. It's absurd. It is wrong. It is unethical. You should not have been involved in this process. It may be why tonight is the most anybody in the public has heard about this. I can guarantee you nobody knows that we're about to privatize EMS because there's been nothing done to publicize it. So I have a huge problem. There is a conflict. It's an ethics violation. It leaves us open that if a contract is awarded out of this, very easy for someone to challenge that and undo that contract. That those kinds of things have never happened here. Never, ever happened here. On the substance of this, I just want to address this. And I know the folks from Virtua, and I talked to them simply about this. And I know our firemen, I had the pleasure of directing them, being in charge of them for a long time. We went through this. We brought a private third-party services. I believe we had Virtua for a while, way back when. And the borough's conclusion out of that was that it did not provide the level of service that we felt our residents deserved, and that we did better by having a borough control in running the fire department. We expanded the size of the department. We expanded it by almost double, and we expanded it to provide full-time, 24-hour local EMS service. And that's the time when we expanded so that our firefighters would also do some housing inspections and things. It is the only way to deliver good service to our community. Privatizing this in a way that has been secret, hasn't been out there in the public at all, is I hear people objecting all the time. They're worried that when it was my administration that we were going to privatize the water system. Never ever a movement to do that. But here in 5-6 months, we're going to privatize the EMS. The one service that the complaint, the issue which we've been dealing with is there's too many calls. This is what we're addressing and going to more people about, usually in the most dire of circumstances, in a snap of the fingers. We're privatizing. We're hiring a company that the mayor's husband works for. That's what we're doing, okay? That's what is going to happen right now. And it is nonsensical. There's been no input from the public. I only know what I've read in the RFPs because I haven't been told anything about it. I haven't been told nothing about it. So it is, I think this is getting ramrodded for the wrong reasons. I get the firefighters have had increasing calls. We had addressed through our budget process to add more members to the department to try to begin to cover that. We are working at it. This proposal is privatizing and keeping our department at exactly the same size that it is. Nobody's figured out where we're paying for all this stuff. That's tomorrow we're going to do. Never have I been so upset about an action. This is an unethical position to take. The substance of it has not been vetted with the public in any significant way. And I think it is the wrong step to make. But it's going to happen. So there we go.
So I want to acknowledge the emotion in the room, and as Director of Public Safety, I have a few comments of my own. So as a Doctor of Public Health and someone who looks at data all day, when this problem was brought to us, I wanted to see the data. So I asked specifically Chief Joyce to provide the numbers to fully understand the scope of the problem. So I poured through data from Chief Joyce as well as met with him to understand what the problem is. What this seeks to do is to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. So it is a 1-year contract at $0 to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars, which I believe in my role as Director of Public Safety is what I was elected to do. It also was 1 year for us to take a look at this with new eyes and to try something different. that is supported by members of the fire department and was brought to us as one of several solutions. So I am not an attorney. I look at data, and to me, the data led to a solution that made sense. So we will have a vote on it in a bit. As to the conflict of interest, I think there are, Mayor Solano Ward has outlined a clear understanding of the steps that happened as well as those that happened before we took office, and that this is a problem and a challenge that we've inherited, and we're seeking to have new eyes and new solutions on. So again, I know that she said she has her email, et cetera, open for any comments, and I would say that mine remains the same. Thank you.
Thank you both for your comments. I appreciate that. There was a meeting in August that the fact-finding mission, a lot of questions to ask. I've been told time and time again, part of this position is to rely on lawyers, to rely on engineers, like here tonight, to rely on police chief, fire chief. This is what they do. We don't have a medical officer as part of our staff. So we came to ask questions to kind of figure out all the different, because, Chief Joyce worked really hard on these different ways to address the problems. One was to establish our own EMS division, which would have been, and there was 2 different ways to roll it out, would have been far, far costlier than the billing that we are losing by not running our own service. To be very clear, we're going to still have all of our equipment. We're still going to have our ambulances. Our ambulances are still going to be operational. They're still going to be responding to calls. And it's a 1-year contract. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. And if this is where we want feedback from the community and from response times, from what's not, we just have dedicated staff from Virtua that will be in Collingswood all the time. It's not going to be like a rotating cast of 20 people. It's going to be the same crew. But we have our ears open to how this works for everyone. It's the 1-year contract. If it doesn't work for us, then we'll look at that. So thank you. So now it's time for public comment from anyone else on any of the resolutions on the agenda for this evening. If anyone has any.
Appointing members to the Health Service Advisory Board.
Yes.
Yes.
Approving the 2026 meeting schedule for the Borough of Collingswood Board of Commissioners.
Yes.
Handling tax account balances less than $5.
Yes.
Authorizing cooperative pricing agreement with the County of Camden Deer Carcass removal services and purchasing of sodium chloride and pre-treated liquid enhanced sodium chloride.
Yes.
Authorizing a budget transfer resolution.
Yes.
Authorizing a shared service agreement between the Borough of Collingswood and the County of Camden for unhoused residents.
Yes.
Authorizing a contract with Virtua for ambulance services.
I have a question. This is authorizing a contract. There's no contract in this package. You both have now said that this is a 1-year contract.
That's
And
the
there's
RFP.
no,
The RFP was out for 1 year.
there's no options to extend.
I have the RFP here. I don't know how it was worded in the RFP.
Well, we don't have a contract, so we're authorizing a contract that nobody has seen yet. Okay, and so it'd be really good to know what the terms are, because I thought the RFP response from Virtua said 5-year option.
I don't believe it said that.
It's kind of a thing that we shouldn't be having to sit here and look to see what it says, because you're agreeing to the contract here.
Going to come up in the earlier comments as well, rather than this moment.
Well, all you have to do is have a discussion with me, and maybe we could have.
Sure, you can give us any time. Never received.
Oh, I don't need to get, you want to ask questions, just give me a buzz.
Phone works 2 ways, sir.
I would like to be clear that I sat down with Chief Joyce 2 or 3 weeks ago to really hack away at the dollar signs as to how we were going to pay for this. All the different things that are being provided for, including Virtual be doing our billing for us. So any calls that we respond to, instead of paying a third-party billing service here now, will be billed through Virtua and then sent back to the Borough of Collingswood for what our ambulance responds to. So we went through all of that, and I sent a point-by-point email to both of you with our borough administrator on copy, and all that information was there. So
Is, Chief, is there an option for 5 years to extend? Well, virtual guys are here. Do you know, anybody know? Okay, so we kind of think there's some options to renew. Okay, that's great. I vote no.
yes.
Okay, and then we have a final resolution for paying the bills presented by the Trump.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
I have several comments here on other topics. First of all, I want to acknowledge a wonderful weekend of events here in the borough. This past weekend was the tree lighting parade, both of which were really wonderful and well attended. So many thanks to all the folks who make that magic happen. There are many upcoming events happening this month in the borough. Tomorrow, December 2nd at 7:30 is the Collingswood Community Chorus Holiday Concert. That is free, and that's at the Scottish Rite. This coming Friday, December 5th, from 5 to 8 p.m., you can visit with Santa free at Extraordinary Ed. The same evening, multiple things happening. There's caroling from the Jersey Sound Chorus from 6 to 8 p.m. And this Friday at 6:30 p.m. is the Parade of Lights, which is also a fan favorite. The fire trucks and floats go around Hyde Park. And this Friday, the gala tickets go on sale. And so for those who love that event as much as I do, in January, the early bird pricing starts this Friday, and that's $75. This coming Saturday, December 6th, from 1 to 3, there's Visiting with Santa again, free at Extraordinary Ed, as well as caroling Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. By the Luminance Flute Quartet. This coming Sunday, December 7th, there's Sensory Santa at Upcycle Fitness, and there are only a few spots left if that's something that you're interested in. And from 1 to 3, again, Visiting with Santa at Extraordinary Ed. Save the dates, the second Saturday for the month of December on December 13th. More to come on that. And one of my favorite events in town is when Santa comes around on the fire truck. It's one of my kids' favorite events. That will be starting the week of December 15th. On the trash schedule, that's right. Oh, and it's a trash relief pickup. The leaf schedule, starting the week of the 15th. Several updates from the library. The library, for the Friends of the Library, are collecting for the Collingswood Food Pantry. Info about that is on the Collingswood Library website. So people can drop off canned goods, etc. There's also a giving tree. Giving tree donations at the library will go to the Collingswood Food Pantry at United Methodist Church. And if you're interested in donating, you can bring cash or a check made out to the Collingswood Friends of the Library. And you'll receive a handcrafted ornament in honor of your donation. Also, the library has a community cabinet, which provides access to essential hygiene products for folks in the community without any kinds of questions asked. You can gather items there such as socks, toothpaste, soap, deodorant, and menstrual supplies. And this is available anytime that the library is open. They do take donations, so talk to the library staff. They're pretty well stocked at the moment, but they're always looking for donations. The library coming up in January, hard to believe, but in January is the Martin Luther King Day of Service on Monday, January 19th from 10 to 12. They're going to do a community project for Cathedral Kitchen, putting together utensils, but this is in a 15-minute time slot, so this is a popular activity, so There will be a certain number of kits and sign up, so do sign up. I wanted to circle back. There have been several questions in recent commission meetings about road safety. So we finally received the report that had been brought up at this meeting in months past. It is a dense 111 pages. I have actually read the whole thing, but there is going to be a presentation mid-December and then evidence-based decisions. So thank you to all of the residents and neighbors who have brought traffic issues, et cetera. More to come on that. I read the whole thing because I'm interested in the data and how we can use that to drive decision making in town. But more to come on what may or may not be possible, but we'll be looking into that. So, of course, this month is a celebration for folks across faiths and backgrounds for holidays. On December 18th is the menorah lighting for celebrating Hanukkah. This is a month that Christians celebrate Christmas, as well as folks who celebrate Kwanzaa. So I just wanted to acknowledge all of the holidays that are being celebrated. This can be a wonderful time. It can also be a hard time for some folks. Holidays can be a hard time. So do check in on neighbors. It starts to get colder, it's difficult. And I just wanted to say that, it's been 6 months in office. It's a time of reflection this time of year. I am really grateful to serve in this role. I encourage you to come to office hours to reach out to me at any time. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that we have Diane here from People at Collingswood. Today is World AIDS Day, which has been marked since 1988, but I'll let her share a little bit more about it. Some of us have the ribbon document. Thanks.
Yeah, so December 1st is World AIDS Day. It's been since 1988 since established as World AIDS Day. Just to repeat a little bit about myself, my name is Dr. McDowell, and I'm the top chair for Peace Like Collingswood. I am very comfortable here downstairs on the first Monday of every month as the person support group for Peace Like. Peace Like, think of Pride Flag. Really truly do call themselves that now because it used to be an acronym, and it's no longer an acronym. We are the oldest and largest organization of support groups for the LGBTQ community. I was the teacher for 39 years retired. And I am a resident of Collingswood and I've been a resident of Collingswood for 37 years. And I always think Collingswood is incredibly supportive of the LGBT community. And I really appreciate being able just to say a few words and keep it nice and short. So as I said, I'm a teacher, I'm a mother, my son is transgender, he's also non-binary, I love him to death, he's awesome, and I go to places and speak with him to increase people's understanding of promote humanity. When he first came out, it was really, really tough, and he's lost him, and there's a lot of that, that journey that we all go on. We have children who are trans or gay, lesbian or bi, or we have spouses, we have stuff from the community. It has exponentially grown our support group since the last election, as you can imagine. That's 56 one night. Sometimes we have grown circle after circle, but it's really been a need. And Peace Flag, as I said, it was actually started by a teacher herself, and her son actually died from age 1. And the very first Peace Flag meeting prior to that started in 1970. And one of the things I've given to the people that are here, I don't know if I got you, but I was giving out red ribbons like the pride flag. Awareness. They are something like the pride flag that have been under assault politically by our current administration. So we are all really trying to make sure that we still respect and honor World AIDS Day. The beauty of Peace Flag Collingswood is it's part of a bigger organization, and it's national organization, flag national. We also have advocacy work, which I sometimes do in. they had a statement today, that they honor those who have died from consecutive in the United States and the world. Misinformation, fear, and government neglect fueled an epidemic that has taken millions of lives, including more humanity. The gay rights activists and some like I personally am old enough, I'm pretty old enough to remember when AIDS first happened, and the whole fear, stigmatization of being gay. It began there, obviously, it didn't end there. I had a friend, my best friends, who insisted he died of AIDS with a black woman, and the word on the street was, black women didn't get it, it just died. The amount of millions of people that died from that epidemic, and there's still people out there today that are dying from it, particularly in Africa. Today, though, we have, really fantastic advances medically, incredible progress in treatment and prevention of, they have we get a shot and you can get 6 months of prevention from that one shot. So here and there's such a reduction in new cases since really 2024. And that brings us to today where our current administration current administration put out a statement today saying they are not acknowledging World Day and that they didn't allow any federal employees to do anything they normally would do on this day to remember all these. Honestly, remember World.
One other item I have in my notes that I forgot. Lindsay, did you want to draw a treasure hunt with them?
Sure. Can someone hold the phone for me for a minute?
Sure, all right. That's standard.
We got a weird thing.
Have change the topic for a moment. I got this at the bottom of my notes. You want to tell them about?
Sure. Hi, everyone. We had a treasure hunt Saturday for Small Business Saturday to encourage residents and visitors to shop at our small businesses. Not just on Saturday, but all year. Our small businesses need us. They need us really bad this year. They need our support. So not just for events or holidays. If you need anything, definitely try to think Collinswood first. We held a little scavenger hunt. We sent residents and visitors out to find 20 objects at local businesses. And we got a lot of entries, as you can see. And we're going to draw tonight, and the winner's going to win a $500 shopping spree, Collinswood cash shopping spree. So without further ado, I'm going to have you draw it because you're a non-involved person. Right, so the winner is Maya. Maya, I have your extra information, like your last name that I'm not going to say, and your phone number, and we'll get into contact with you tomorrow with your knowledge. Thank you.
Gretchen, collecting, I want to recognize her and the parade committee for Saturday. Putting the parade together is well, if you've never been involved in it, you have no idea. And anyone that would like to get involved, if you've enjoyed the parade, thought it was really great, they'll be starting working on that probably in a couple of weeks for next year. So encourage you to get involved. That's all I have.
Friday night.
Friday night, 6:30. Just want to mention the Parade of Lights is at 6:30 on Friday in Collingswood, and then it continues on to Haddon. So if you're on social media, if you're online, you might see a different time because the later time is in Haddon Township. So don't get confused. It is 6:30 in Collingswood. And then I just wanted to give a quick promo as well for Deck the Calls. It's our first year doing a townwide in partnership with the schools and with the nonprofit Leader Up, collecting unwrapped gifts for children 12 and under, as well as like family games like Uno, Monopoly. We're going to be doing that giveaway on December 21st, and there'll be boxes up until the 19th at Borough Hall, at a net, Red Coffee, House Finch, had a connection. And then at all the 5 elementary schools as well. So our DPW is wonderful in storing that for us, and we hope to really have a great event that gives back to all the kids in our community that are in need this season. So let's keep an eye out for that. Now I'm going to open it up to public comment in general for anyone else about anything going on, wishes, concerns. Yes.
Richard Klingerman, 743 Maple Terrace. I have several questions. Is the EMS telephone numbers the same, 911? Would the contract be put up on the website for the EMS?
The contract?
Yes.
Uh,
Why not? Since it was a big issue here, I would like to read it.
Me too.
I will have to speak to our attorney if we can share that. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll put in a request for it.
Sure.
And the other thing is the route for the fire trucks and the lights. Is it all on Haddon Avenue?
No, the route is, it leads from the Scottish Rite.
Okay, so we're gonna come off Grand Ave, make a left on.
I'll repeat. I didn't hear the first part.
So the route is gonna be, we're gonna come off Grand Avenue at Night Park, make a left on the Browning Road, and then make the right to Park Avenue. We'll do 2/3 of the park. And then we take the back road to Haddon Township to do their portion.
Okay, it's similar to prior years.
Yeah, like the last 5 years.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to go into closed session. We have some litigation on affordable housing to discuss. After that, we will have an will adjourn. So
Everyone will have to leave except for Trader. We can stay here.
Oh, we're still here. Okay.
Come back
Only
in
the
after.
forms for requesting. You talk about?
You can go.
Huh?
Well, we're not gonna.
we're not going to film it.
Yeah, we're not gonna film it. Okay, we should take a minute.
Oh, you're right.
So- Well, that's it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.